Don't look now, but writer-director Leigh Whannell's The Invisible Man is shaping up to be one of the year's biggest horror hits. The flick has been screened for critics, and while there's still an embargo on formal reviews, they're taking to social media in droves to report that The Invisible Man is something you need to see. It's apparently a tense, terrifying thriller grounded in real-world issues and featuring a performance for the ages from Elisabeth Moss. A bit of background: The Invisible Man is the result of a major course correction by Studio Universal, which at one point was planning a Marvel-esque series of interconnected franchises based on its classic monster properties. The first in the series, 2017's remake of The Mummy, also ended up becoming the last when it was savaged by critics and underperformed severely at the box office. Plans for big-budget tentpole features starring A-list actors based on properties like Bride of Frankenstein and The Invisible Man were subsequently scrapped, and Universal wisely decided to scale back its plans.
We're just gonna take a minute, and we're all gonna come up with a new plan.
We have to go. You don't know what you're doing.
Really, I know exactly what I'm doing.
Universal's new approach is to make modestly budgeted, updated takes on its properties crafted by experienced horror filmmakers. To help implement this plan, the studio partnered with the hit-making horror studio Blumhouse, and The New Invisible Man is the first fruit of that partnership. The flick may only be Whannell's third feature as a director, but the writer and co-creator of Saw proved long ago that he knows a thing or two about horror. His previous movie in the director's seat, 2018's Upgrade, also showed a ton of promise upon which he has apparently now delivered. Critics are going absolutely bonkers over The Invisible Man, in no small part due to his direction and to Elisabeth Moss's committed performance. Moss stars as Cecilia Cass, whose boyfriend Adrian was an abusive jerk to her before he apparently went off and mysteriously died. Cecilia eventually becomes convinced that her deceased former lover has returned to torment her as an invisible man, although she understandably has a hard time getting anyone to believe her. Critic Whitney Seibold was one of many to praise the film's examination of the dynamics of abuse while also standing in awe of just how scary it is. He tweeted, "Leigh Whannell's The Invisible Man is not just one of the most tightly wound thrillers in recent memory, but it is a pertinent and all too real look at the panic and damage left by an abusive relationship. Elisabeth Moss digs deep." We Live Entertainment editor-in-chief Scott Menzel concurred, tweeting, "The Invisible Man is a tension-filled thrill ride from start to finish. Elisabeth Moss delivers a haunting and captivating performance that is amongst some of her finest work to date." The playlist Griffin Schiller called the film a spine-tingling modern horror classic in the making, poignant and timely, packed full of edge-of-your-seat anxiety-inducing suspense. Sound and production design are massive standouts, but Elisabeth Moss owns this film. Virtually all of the critics who took to Twitter to freak out over The Invisible Man were in awe of Whannell's command of his craft and his ability to generate nerve-wracking suspense. Daily Dead News managing editor Heather Wixson tweeted, "Leigh Whannell has crafted a masterclass in tension and terror, and I think my jaw was left on the floor at least twice. Completely thrilling, visceral, and emotional." Meanwhile, Fringe Beat editor Julian Wright offered the kind of praise we can really get behind. He said, "I needed to pee the entire film but couldn't move. Then got home and was convinced an invisible entity was standing in the corner watching me. It's that great." Just in case you're not yet convinced, consider the words of Coming Soon contributor Grant Hermans, whose praise might seem hyperbolic if we hadn't gotten the chills just from watching the flick's trailers. Hermans tweeted, "The Invisible Man is one of the best horror films in years. Leigh Whannell has set the bar high for the rest of the year. It's tense from start to finish in the same vein as a Hitchcock masterpiece. I seriously can't recommend this movie enough. I plan to see it multiple times." With initial reactions like this, The Invisible Man could wind up being a major hit out of nowhere. You'll get the chance to see the film for yourself when it opens on February 28th. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Looper videos about your favorite horror movies are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.